All right. Good evening, sir. I'm so sorry. Much of our time was spent trying to figure this out. How are you doing, sir?
Even when I think I'm IT savvy, that is a bit of bit. It's good
Thank you,
to,
sir, Bio, for that.
yeah,
Anyway,
thank you.
um, first things first, please introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Sir Dr. Jonathan Monye, Esquire, the Justice of Peace. I am the President General of Ubuluku.
Hmm.
Ubuluku is a kingdom, a big one indeed that you get to know about.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm so proud to have you on my channel. This is really an honor. Let's go straight to the questioning because we've spent a lot of time trying to get you before Instagram decides that it wants to remove one of us. Let us talk about why Ubuluku has such a young ruler.
That the phrase, once again, I say thank you as we go through this discussion. Yes, Buluku is indeed blessed, at a time that we find ourselves in this geographical location. We have possibly one of the youngest, King, His Royal Magesty, Abogidi Obi, Chukwuka, Noah. Then there's a name we always put there, Aniyemeze. Akese.
Aniyemeze. Okay, I know
Aniyemeze.
Akese is hand of king.
You're there on point. Then maybe I'll take you a little down Ubuluku, about this town called Ubuluku. Really instructive. Ubuluku is a big town, like the name implies. When you talk about Ubulu Uku, it simply means a very big community. And actually that name dates back to our progenitor, Ezemu. Coincidentally, the founder of Ubuluku is Ezemu. And when you talk about, the name Ubuluku, you can't talk about that without literally linking it somehow to him. Let me say, first and foremost, that Ubuluku is located, let me start from the Midwestern region, from there to the Old Bendel, and here we find ourselves in Delta State. It is indeed an ancient kingdom. Why did I mention Midwestern? Because when you talk about the Midwestern, actually, Ubuluku King ranks topmost. Actually paying lip service to what I'm saying. It is just there in the public space. And if you want to know more, I was just reading a book written by one Nathan Ike Ozoma, delivered, I think, from the powers of darkness. And you find the man right about Ezemu. In fact, I began to really see why some level of relevance will be given to this Ubuluku. And the man said there were possibly 3 greatest people in the world. In fact, that man was an out-court grandmaster. And he was not talking, I said there were 3 greatest people that ever existed. And the man writing is not from Ubuluku, because for myself, I've written so many books in Ubuluku. I'm talking about a man from Imo State. And he said that out of these 3 greatest men that ever existed, that one of them is Ubuluku, who founded Ubuluku. So that goes on to tell you the kind of, philosophical reference that this Ubuluku has. We are located, choicely located in Delta State. And why do I say choicely? It is one place that you find that is undulating. Coming from the tops, going down again, you see the undulating nature of Ubuluku and down to the hill. So both ways you see the community in a manner that actually, fulfilling. And we found ourselves under Anyocha South local government area. One good thing about Ubuluku, just feel we have the luxury of time to discuss this, is that Ubuluku has the largest landmass within this space. Because there are so many stories associated with how this land acquisition was actually, masterminded by the founder of Ubulu Uku. Just remind me to take you through that while I stay run down. So if you come to the town, you see, a very serene environment. You see some natural river, natural spring waters. You do not need to process. In fact, I just wish you would come down the phrase.
I'm going to come. I'm going to come. We are going to come one of these days to visit Judy. And
I
my
can.
mother-in-law is from there. My mother-in-law is from Ubulu Uku.
It is very lovely to
She's
hear
a
this. This
Diofo.
never cross. Are you serious? The
She's a
kind of.
Diofo.
Oh, wow, yes, you know them.
My mother-in-law is a Diofo.
Don't say this. There, I'm talking to one of
Uncle
my
Mike
brothers.
and Uncle Ima.
Wow, that should be
Chief
that should be
Ima,
Chief Doctor Emma. Wow, what a
Chief
small
Dr. Ima,
world.
yes. We call him Uncle
What
Ima.
what a small world. He's indeed my friend. So,
Yes.
yes. So you find out that the natural, spring water we have, you do not need to process. People go there, there's this philosopher we still live. I know all through my time, you see fishes in this river, but we grew up not knowing not to really, fish in those, rivers, as it were. It is very warm, very temperate, very serene environment. There are so many things that you can talk about Ubulu Uku, but one thing that is significant is that name. How did it come about? As at the time that the founder is the who, of course, a Negroid, a wanderer that actually migrated, coming from the Negro. In fact, we link our origin to being from Israel. You have the Jewish nation. And the case when he came, of course, had a peculiar hair that is called Isio Yomiyo. That kind of hair is the kind of hair that you see among the whites. And oftentimes that he was always referred, in our own community as the king that has that unique hair, is the Isi Oyomiyo. When he came as a hunter, a nomad, he settled down in a place, the center of Ubulu Uku, called Abonta. He had that preference and that choice because he was, as a hunter, there was a tree where he usually went to hunt. And you know what, Larry Freeze? That tree is called Ubulu. And indeed, a very massive tree indeed. And he usually found solace, he found comfort actually going there to catch some of the animals, as it were. And coincidentally, this is the center of Ubulu Uku, and that is where I am from, Abonta.
Is that tree still standing today?
They said we grew up, of course, saw this tree standing mightily, and we heard so many philosophical, historical facts about that tree. Of course, cannot go down. But that tree doesn't stand any longer today. All of a sudden something happened at the time, and it caught fire, and out of decadence, it has lasted age, and the tree went down. At the moment, that tree does no longer exist, but that is the tree from which Ubulu Uku gained relevance. And that tree is actually found within the Abonta axis. So arguably, Abonta remains one of the biggest, communities around. And if dating down to history too, you only find out that when you date that to history, you hear about the Ojukobis. In fact, it's directly one of the direct lineages of Ubulu Uku kings emanated from the Ojukobis, where you have this tree that is called Ubulu. Both oral accounts and other beliefs, of course, give account and credence to what the Obi, who they talked about, and they refer to him as Obi Shieze. The Obi Shieze of that, Jukobi dynasty. He was the last king and the nephew of Jeboma, that is now referred to as Obi Ogene, before, of course, the subsequent kings. Ubulu Uku started in over 15 centuries ago. So there are so many things that actually differentiate Ubulu Uku. The kola nut, the dress, the food. In fact, it's only in Ubulu, of course, you know this one now, that you can get a wife, and we don't give away wife. We actually adorn and spouse our children to their husbands. We arguably we collect the least amount when giving our daughters out because we don't sell them. I'm not telling you to come and take another one.
I should come and take another one because they are very industrious, they are beautiful, they are intelligent, they are everything a man is looking for.
Unlike some communities where you will go, they tell you this one is educated. Our women, of course, largely educated. But the truth about it is that before now, if you just bring 200 naira, you are possibly paid for your wife. And one thing that stands out that I must say now, as we journey in this discussion, is the way Ubuluku breaks a kola nut. It is possibly and arguably the only community so far from the research that the kola nut only comes last, unlike any other tradition that is even around us here. When you go to other places, kola nut usually presented first. But for Ubuluku, the moment they break kola nut, that is the end of that gathering.
They are greeting you from Facebook, Pious Monye.
Wow. I hope I can see this account.
You will eventually see it on Facebook. I'm going to crop it and still put it on Facebook. So let's talk about our king. Why has he been away for this long?
Good. Our king, His Royal Magesty, Abogido, Obinua, Chukwuka, and Yemeze Akeze, has been away now for 7 years. For Ubuluku, something very awful happened 7 years ago in our land. Something that cannot be conjectured in our widest philosophical imagination. Where we woke up one morning and we heard that the king has been held to ransom. A king of the land kidnapped. It was just unimaginable. And in the course of, trying to make moves to, get his release, eventually, when the people went into the bush, the community, of course, had sleepless nights. Everybody in the bush, only to discover, the dead body of the king. It was mournful. Nobody had imagined that. I think he had spent about 10 years on throne when this unfortunate event happened. And as at now, the matter is still at the court and ongoing. But you find out that that is the way the happenstances associated with this thing. It was just obvious because in our parlance and in our community, in our traditional, belief, the throne is never empty. In fact, it is believed. Of course, you are even part of us now. You have 50% of applause. So it is believed that there is no, you don't have any gap along the leadership, as it were. So the moment it happened, usually, because the next person that should be heir apparent to the throne is sworn in. So when this happened, the current king, who was 17 years old then, was in United Kingdom, UK, going, I think it was, then he was a student of law, and eventually when it happened, it behoved on him that he had to really come down to take over from where the fathers have left. And eventually he came down 7 years ago. And in all the traditional affairs, the grand finale, the governor of the state then was the Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, who equally, gave him the staff of office. in accordance with whatever is known to them and the traditional council. So since then, ever since he took over the mantle of leadership, of course, a king rules through the Obi council. So usually you have the hierarchies of kings, hierarchies of chiefs, usually that surround the king. So while was sojourning trying to do his studies, the other people were in charge, and of course, now 7 years down the line, he's 25 years old. So the young Obi, of course, is a full-grown man. And for us, it's a thing people have clamored for. We cannot continue to have, a palace that the head, because Obi is the administrative head of the Obi Council by the hierarchical structure of Ubulu Uku. The Obi is the administrative head. So now, 7 years down the line, in my humble abode, I was summoned to the palace and say, "Come." And what is it, Mr. President General? The king is coming home. I said, long live the king. And ever since the information has been brought to us, of course, we've just been trying to get our feet in, because it's like the information was almost coming late. But here, for all the youth, if I come to our platform every time, it's all about, we want to see our king. All this why, the Obi Council, especially the community development leadership that I had, we have actually made sure that the right things, to try to maintain peace, maintain orderliness, try to give, some semblance of leadership in our community. And this has kept us actually going.
Awesome. Now, this is so wonderful to see that in Nigeria, where olden days elders, not just elders and not just olden day people, olden days elders continue to rule us. It is so refreshing to see a young king, especially a young, educated king. He's a lawyer, a British trained lawyer.
Yeah.
What do you think his reign is going to bring to the people of Ubulu
Uku? I think a lot of expectations that is positive, a lot of expectation that among us, because one is that we are talking about a king that is a distant away from the traditional elder lineage usually associated with the throne. We've not seen it around this, clan, seeing a king, so youthful. As much as we also continue to depend, on the wisdom of the old, who have continued to guide us in different areas of life. But the truth is that the Obi that we're expecting now is an Obi that, of course, will be a distance away from some of the things we are used to. One is that, of course, he's not groomed here. But good thing, we have equally seen, myself, I've been privileged to see, he's the third. I've been privileged to see the three kings, all through my life, at least all through my knowledgeable life. And I know that some of his grandfather was even educated, he gave birth to his children overseas in England. So we've never had a king that is so traditionally, hoodwinked that it has been that this king has never traveled. I know the first king, Ubulu Uku, the first, until the Edward Askeze the second, and this one. So the expectations are high because we want to see new things. And let me even relate it to my position as the President General. Apparently, I appear to be one of the youngest President Generals that have ever emerged in our community.
I was about to say. I
was telling the truth. And when I go in Delta North, we have about 94 clans in Delta North. 94 clans. And do you know that when I go to the committee of PGs, I find myself at one, I think, from Chicago, apparently as the youngest. And I must say that I've been so fulfilled because people tell me that, our tenure, our time, in fact, our time we cannot relate it to the past, that we'll be able to do what could only be imagined in the past. So, and I want to associate it to the new young king. Because, there's this palace in my place. Wata, Kwade, Asu, I know that in your training, they may not have taught you this one. So what it simply means that, with our youthfulness, with the exuberance of the youthfulness, that you find out that the younger person is able to do more because of the mien, the finesse, because of the vigor, associated with it. So as Aobi is coming on throne, I'm so sure that we're going to see strong changes that will just be, very, very far away from the traditional rhetorics.
That is so wonderful. Now, what has been done by the Ubulu Uku community to ensure the safety of this young king? If 7 years ago we saw what happened with the previous monarch, what is being done to make sure that this young king, His Royal Majesty, is going to be taken care of and such an unfortunate incident never repeats itself?
Indeed, a very, subtle question for that. When you talk about security, of course, security is in the hands, of the security agents. But the good thing about our king that is coming is that there is, from what I was told, I've had a series of meetings with the palace, joint sessions with the palace, where oftentimes I'm even on the listening side. I listen, to the elders, and of course, I will address that, the security details will be coming with him from UK. Yeah.
So anybody that does anyhow will see anyhow.
I guess as such.
Okay. Now there's the Ubulu Uku Carnival that is coming up. Tell us a little bit about it.
Wow. It's just one of the new nouns. When you talk about youthfulness, you talk about how is it done now. We've looked at the peculiarity, in Ubulu Uku. Of course, Ubulu Uku is an ancient kingdom with so many things associated, that have got to do with different festivals. I grew up, finding myself, some Christians will say, no, these ones are too, traditional, they're too diabolic, there's something Christian don't even, I grew up even as a younger person, under the tutelage of my parents, we can't even come out to even see some aspect of the core tradition. But what am I trying to say? So you find out that if you come to the community that's celebrating the Iwu festival, that's celebrating the Ine festival, some of this is associated with New Year festivals, what happens is that you see that it is usually a catalyst for bonding. It is usually a form of uniformity that brings serene relation. In fact, at times people come and use those periods to, even if you have called somebody else, to come out and say, please do this course be reversed and all that. So this actually bettered the carnival. Because why the carnival? The carnival now became what? A frontliner, became an in-between, became a bond and a binder. Because some Christians will say, okay, we don't participate in this one, it's against our faith. And the traditional ones will do their things. So, but we now, of course, 3 years ago, I came on board that, going to 4 years now. So that thing was bettered to have the carnival. We have started with setting up a committee, and one of the things we charged the committee was for us to come up with something that's going to be like a binding catalyst that should be able to be like a force and a bridge builder. Where it's going to be a bring our people together, where we begin to drop off all these animosities, all these enmities, all these dotted divisions and divisiveness, occasioned by religion and the whole of that. That is what gave birth to this carnival. And on this carnival, of course, when it started, I brought so many people, on board to that. Coincidentally, as at the time we brought one of them, Honorable Commissioner for Culture, then, Engineer Lawrence Ejiofor. So coincidentally, he was a member. Where then Alex Abu, comrade, indeed, in fact, Alex Abu is just like an engine house. In fact, he has gone ahead to even seek and get approval, through the commissioner, and getting the Delta State government to actually assent to setting aside, that particular day as a celebration for Carnival in Ubulu Uku. In that committee, of course, is Judith. You know, Judith, of course, is a catalyst. You know, yeah, she's been a mobilizer.
Junior Folua, the catalyst.
Pardon?
Are they hail my sister or Junior Folua, the catalyst?
I'll tell you the truth too, because I brought her on board, and I'm very, very happy to know that nobody knew her in Ubulu Uku, because when I came on board, I decided to do things differently, like a young man. I brought so many people to set up different committees. In fact, we have 21 committees. So you see how my job is made easy. Like she's trying, this thing she's doing today now. I'm not aware I'm going to have an interview with you. I should not come and say, "Come, that the freeze is always." I don't want to use one word, but I say that the freeze make you don't carry me for Lego. That you should know that I'm very busy now, and the person you are coming to interview me is an international figure. I'm not prepared for this. Say, PG, no. I know you can always deliver even when you're working on. But the truth about it that we
People
brought
love
her.
you. They want to buy you drink already in the life. You are saying, wow.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Please don't make sure they buy this drink. I'm not used to online drinks. They should make you physical.
No audio drink.
So they came together and began to give this in a bite. In fact, as at last year, I tell you the truth, some of the things that done by this committee, my own is just PG, just put your signature. And they run the show, and it's usually a welcoming one. This year's zone is going to be pretty well, better than what we have ever done. And what do we use this in now? To bring all the people, in different skills, all the people, artisans, in fact, Ubulu Uku is known for even blacksmithing, goldsmithing. Then we have our unique aquacha. You should know that one now. Not this one you see that is sold in Onitsha. In fact, the original
I've seen my wife aquacha.
Good. You will see me tie my own that day if you're going to be around. If you go to any other place, you are possibly going to be getting an imitation. The Ubulu Uku aquacha is so unique. And it is our water indeed. We don't use iron to iron it. Do you know what we use? We use mortar. Pesto. I'm telling you, because the quality is out of this world. Hey. We have our bead, what we call the coral bead. Do you know what? If you get 1 unit of our bead, can I tell you that it is worth like a diamond? The rare one, not that one that's selling. So if you come to Ubulu Uku now, we get you. In fact, if you wear the real bead, it's possibly going to be costing over. You can get beads as much as 10 million naira from that community. Yes, so correct coral beads is as costly as gold and anything you can imagine. And it comes only from Ubulu Uku. So when I wear my own, I got it very jealous because I wear the original one. So people abroad, they book appointment. Say, Sajo, the PG, please connect us. So that day we're going to be doing our carnival. All these people will come to showcase all of the skills, all of the talents that we have been bequeathed by nature and by providence. So at the end of the day, they come out and we now begin to showcase them. Some of them are already selling these things abroad. And in fact, some of them is already a source of a forest attraction, especially now that Nigeria is. What we want now is how do we stabilize our incomes and the balance of payments. So Ubulu Uku is a place that Nigeria, Delta State should focus, because you're possibly going to be a foreign income earner for this country. Ubulu Uku is blessed in different degrees.
Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. Now, before we go, I want to raise something real quick. And that is, you talked about even the coming together for this carnival. You said those who are Christians had issues with it at a point. Can you throw some light on that?
Oh, thank you very much, Daddy Praise. The issues were around people belief. We have come to an age where, of course, beliefs actually change. The ancient beliefs and the traditional worshippers, they always have this, distant line. Where the traditional worshippers, of course, we do our things the way we do it. There are so many things. They have in fact, in traditional Ubulu Uku, a woman that sleeps with another man, I tell you the truth, it is a no-no for my community. At times, you may even die, or if the man now begins to eat your food and he knows, the man goes down. There's so many things associated with Ubulu tradition. So religion came with its, good sides and the other side. And we will not, be a preacher of the word. So I need to mind my words before my brethren will say what is happening. But the truth about it is that you find out there are people that, of course, for those traditional things, they will say, no way, we're not going to do that. All those festivals. In fact, myself, I've gone to that festival and I watch in between line. I say, I didn't see anything. I said, nothing stops me from going. But they now told me that something happens before you come on board. I said, I don't go again. But it's just all fun. So, but because of that kind of thing, people come say, some people go to the river. You don't know what to believe, what not to believe. I say, we've sat down with all the elders. In fact, I'm so privileged. I've written so many books about Ubulu Uku. I've written so many books on good, motivational books. I've written on Ubulu Uku tradition. So you can't be more Ubulu Uku than me. I have written books talking about different things in Ubulu Uku before even becoming the President General. But what am I trying to say in a nutshell? So we now came up with that carnival. So that carnival became what? A balancer. For both the traditional worshippers and my brothers who are believers. Because of course, there are no nuances. There's no fetishness. I'm the leader of the squad. There are all the people that are there as the carnival attendants. They follow suit. So you now find out that there's a big balancer. Every person keyed in. In fact, if you come that day, it is usually explosive. People come out in their numbers. People book canopies beforehand and all that. So I'm talking to you. There's a group I've called, I've spoken to today. They call them the old school. They say, Mr. PG, we're going to be having a canopy there. And we're going to come in our old school form, both the dressing, the dances, and the whole of that. So it's a fun fair for everybody. And at the end of the day, we give different degrees of, give awards, cash awards, subtle landing for all the attendants and performers. And again, it becomes a platform to showcase talent. From there, we discover talents, we see some people that we can second to that the freeze and say, please, this one has something you can tap from. From there, we invite artists, usually from Ubulu Uku, to entertain us. Exactly. Last year, they brought so many, I was surprised, even as a PG, I didn't even know we had this, number of artists performing. I said, Judith, where did you get these people from? I said, they're all your brothers. I said, I'm the one that brought you. You're not staying in Nigeria. How come you are biased ahead? So
that is Judy for you. She knows how to
gather our carnival is a balancer.
Normally, I don't even do interviews on Sunday. I don't do anything on Sunday. But Judy said, I will have to do it. I said, okay, we will do it. So that brings us to our final question. When is this amazing carnival?
Wow.
And who is invited?
Our carnival is online. I'm not so sure if you Google now, you're possibly going to see so many jingles. And it is on the 27th of December.
Wow. You don't reach finish.
Yes. Don't tell me you're not going to come.
By the grace of God, we'll be there. God willing.
It is just a thing you cannot afford to miss. And you just got to be there. And everybody's invited. But truly, we make sure, in fact, we maintain decorum, the securities, all of them, the vigilantes, the regular securities, they're going to be there. Any Makam, now Abuja, the person they go.
And of course, I'm also going to be there because my uncle, Chief Dr. Emmanuel Ejiofor, and Uncle Mike Ejiofor, former.
Wow, you know all these people.
They are my in-laws.
I am shocked.
Uncle Mike Ejiofor, former special assistant, director of SSS, director of DSS.
Director of SSS, yeah.
SSS, and special assistant to the president on security matters.
Absolutely. Even now, he has another one that's giving presidency, at a higher level of, that is leadership.
That's still
Coincidentally,
God.
Chief Imai you talked about was equally he was the president general in Ubulu. He was a PG. Yes, so he held
Which
sway
of them,
for
Uncle
4
Mike
years.
or Chief Dr. Emma?
No. Chief Dr. Imai.
Ah,
Yes. Mm.
President General. So my
Oh,
PG,
yes.
I'm so happy meeting you today, Your Excellency.
It's my
Lovely
delight.
speaking to you. The whole world who is watching is so proud of the Ubulu tradition. Is the king going to be around for the carnival?
The king promised to be around. But but some of the details is I don't know whether it's going that is that day that he will come back. So but we have made all arrangements to make sure that if the details are in early enough, of course, very well to be present in that carnival. But on 29th we are having a grand finale at the palace. Both the carnival trail, everybody will move to the palace, and of course the king should be there.
So thank you so much, President General.
I appreciate you.
Thank you
I
so much,
salute
sir. This was
you.
so much fun. I feel like coming to join Ubulu community itself and come
Please don't waste
live
time.
there for a while. It's
Don't
also
waste time.
inviting the spring water, the fresh bush meat available.
Huh? Palm
The
wine.
airport
We
is
have
one of
the
the most
best.
beautiful.
We have the best palm wine. You need all of this.
Oh, that's the
Yes.
reason why I'm coming for the carnival. Toast
I'm
that with
telling
wine.
you. Yes, sir. And fish.
So thank you so much for coming to my
Thank you
live,
so very
and
much. I'm
God bless
delighted.
you.
God
And
bless you.
we look forward to knowing you more. And big shout out to Judy Ofolue, and of course,
Yes.
Taste Buds, who happens to be Judy Ofolue's family member. They are from the same compound.
Okay.
And big shout out to Uncle Mike Ejiofor
Okay.
and Chief Dr. Emmanuel Ejiofor, my in-laws. God bless you, sir. Thank you very
God
much,
bless
PG,
you.
and do have a very lovely weekend.
You too. The delight is mine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
Bye.